a safety lamp, they'd call that one. And as I say, to be safe, what the men used to do, they'd draw it from the lamp house in the morning with the flame lit. You'd have your flame there, and you get to the pit top, and the onset of the banksman that used to put you in the cage, what he'd do, he'd blow it to make sure the flame isn't moving, so they'd know it was safe. Obviously, if it moves, then you'd know the seals in the bottom weren't safe, or the gauzes weren't working properly. So that was the test for that, to blow it. Well, some lamps underground, for the officials, that would be the firemen, the overman, the manager and under manager, they were the bosses. They had a lamp that you could relight again. It has a striker on it, and you'd relight it. But the workers, just the ordinary pitmen, they, not everybody, but those that were allocated an oil lamp, would have one that was lit in the lamp house when you went to the pit. Obviously, if you knocked it out underground, and it didn't take much, they'd be out, but they couldn't relight theirs underground, but the firemen could. It's something to do with the safety aspect of it. You would never relight a lamp that you were in a gassy area where you thought there was methane gas. And the reason was that the gauzes inside, the very, very fine bit of flint, when you hit the striker, this is what they told me, could have come through the gauze and possibly caused an explosion. So what they did, they go in somewhere where they realised it was always fresh air, you know, plenty of good ventilation, and that's there where they would strike it up. But these underground, you would never relight one of those underground. Once it was out, it was out. But that one is one that doesn't relight. They used to light it in the lamp house, because I worked in the lamp house for a while, and they used to put a battery from there to there. That was the terminal. The little piece of wire used to glow, and then of course the oil inside, the cosaline would ignite and the flame would be safe. Obviously in the early 1900s these came in, and obviously being a bulb and electric, they were far better illumination than the oil lamp. And of course they were such a great invention. Obviously safety lamps, they were safe underground, and they had a lock on. That's the lock there, that only the lamp man could open them up to get at the battery, so they were flame proof and they were safe. But the old men that I remember using them, well before my time of course, said they were fantastic. Up against the old oil lamp, which was just half a candle power, to have that, probably you'd have a lamp hook and hook it on the post, they'd have far better viewing of what they were up to than before. The only criticism there was with them, they did weigh 11 pounds in weight with the battery in. Obviously I've taken the battery out of this, but they weighed 11 pounds. So to actually carry that in for 2, perhaps 3 miles was a bit of a job. And exactly the same with these, the lamp number is stamped on that, and it happens to be 516. So that would be in his rack, his place in the lamp house. So each morning he would go in after he'd been and got changed and draw. They used to call it drawing your lamp, and that's what he would do. He'd get it, walk across to the pit top, and again the banksman would have a way of testing it, making sure it was safe. And then, well, that would have been the safety check to make sure the lock is intact, as you couldn't get the battery out underground, and then he'd carry on into the district with it. But you can imagine, you know, the problems miners had in those early days with their eyesight. They got this nasty disease, most of them did, and I suppose when these came out, things improved such a lot for them.